Hey guys, I'm back again. I hope you all are doing good. We're going to finish up that Adolf Hitler PowerPoint. As I said, it's not going to be very long. I'm going to try to get through it pretty quick like. With any of these videos and your stuff, just don't stress it. There's only the 10 questions. Go through there and answer them and so forth. These lectures are just trying to help you out and kind of keep me involved too. So, with that being said, we'll take up where we left off yesterday. The other day, when on my other video, we talked about how Hitler kind of rose to power and in the background of him. Now, once he gets out of prison, he uses the appeal from his book and all of the fame he'd gotten with the Munich Beer Hall Push and the book that he wrote to gain national fame. He then took and went to the German people to try to get them to buy into what he was doing. The appeal of Hitler. Germany was in the midst of an economic depression after World War I. They pretty much were all broke. It was so bad, and the inflation was so bad that they were taking the money they had and using it to start their fires with because it wasn't really worth much. Hitler came in and he talked about bringing the greatness of Germany back. He's a war hero from World War I. They recognized him. He gave them scapegoats as the Jews and other people, blaming them for Germany's problems, not the German people. He blamed the government of the old Weimar Republic as being the problem. And so he comes in, he uses his fame, he uses his public speaking ability, and he's able to give the German people hope. He promised a change, and he promised to make Germany great again, and gave them people to hate. That was the Jews and the communists, because he says those were the bad guys. And so people really started to buy into what he was doing. He also, like I talked about, used the brown shirts or the stormtroopers to put down opposition to anybody other than the Nazi Party. These people went around, and if you weren't going to vote for the Nazis in the general elections, they beat them up, or they pretty much scared them into voting or not voting at all. They wore brown shirts, pants, and boots, so that's why they called them that. That will pretty much be his strong police force to go around and gain control of the government. Now, he's voted as chancellor in 1933. Then, mysteriously, the Senate building called the Reichstag will catch on fire, and all of the documents and all that stuff will be destroyed, all of our laws. Hitler was then able to kind of take control and say, hey, it was a Jewish person that did this. He starts putting in his rules against Jews with the Nuremberg race laws. He takes total control and becomes a dictator after the Reichstag fire because he says no politician can be trusted. And by the end of 1933, all parties were outlawed except for the Nazi Party. People's civil rights will start to be suspended, and then you'll have the Night of Long Knives. We will talk about that more when we get into the actual war and the Holocaust, but that is where they kind of go around and they start rounding up Jews. They also will go and mysteriously, anybody that opposed the new Nazi government that might have been in the old government simply disappeared. With this and all of his opposition out of the way, he was able to create absolute power. The German economy was improving, so people were happy. He was doing good things for the German people, they thought, because their economy was getting better, their lives were getting better, so forth. And he has no political opposition, so he's pretty much able to do whatever he wants to. At the end of 1933, the first concentration camp will be built in Dachau, and they will start expanding from there. And also at the end of 1933, he begins to rearm the German army for the expansion of what he called the Third Reich or Germany, and he will move on, trying to expand, and will eventually lead into World War II. In 1935, you have the Nuremberg race laws were created that starts preventing marriage between any Jew and non-Jew and stripped all Jews of German citizenship. This is the first step that he starts to round Jews up and move them to ghettos. Eventually, they will be started to shipped off to concentration camps. In 1936, Jews were banned from all professional jobs, effectively preventing them from any influence in education, politics, higher education, and industry. Hitler will go in and he will pretty much take control of the public education systems to train little young Nazis. He called it the Hitler Youth because he knew enable for him to keep control for a long, long time, he needed to have the younger generations buying into what he was doing. So he takes control of schools and pretty much brainwashes them to believe that he is the greatest out there. And that's pretty much it for this one. He rises to power, takes absolute power, starts pressing his agendas, and eventually the next moves that he will do is starting conquering different areas such as Czechoslovakia and Poland, and that will lead to World War II. I hope everybody's doing great out there. I'm hoping these videos help. And as I say, you just have the 10 questions and the CNN news for this first 2 weeks, and then we will move on. Stay safe, have fun. Hope everything's going good. Talk to y'all later.